Students, today we will discuss History Chapter 5 Rulers and Buildings. Students, between the 8th and 18th century, kings and their officers built two kinds of structures. As you know, the structures like forts, palaces, gardens, tombs, temples, mosques, tanks were built in this period. There are two kind of structure which we are talking about. So the second were structures meant for public activity, including temples, mosques, tanks, wells. So these were used by the common peoples. Kings were expected to care for their subjects, and by making structures for their use and comfort, rulers hoped to win their praise. So these were done for the help of the common masses. Some construction activities were also carried by merchants, and other also carried out constructions of temple, mosques, and wells. In this period, between the 8th and 13th centuries, the Tapir style, a style of architecture in which roofs, doors, and windows were made by placing a horizontal beam across two vertical columns, was used in building temples and mosques. Students, one more thing was there, that weight of the superstructure was carried by the arches in some of the architectural uh, buildings. This architectural form was called arcute. This is the first balcony of Qutub Minar, the famous Qutub Minar in Delhi. So you can see here the whatever patterns and the jharokas are made, they all are in symmetry. So this required a very great skill to do this kind of architectural work. Building temples, mosques, and tanks. Student, temples and mosques were built to demonstrate the power and wealth of the king. These were also constructed to show the devotion of the ruler towards religion and the god. And sometimes they used to do it to win the faith of the people. The Hindu king often took the god's name. According to an inscription, the Raja Rajeshwara temple was built by King Rajarajadeva for the worship of his god Raj Rajeshwaram. Okay, so this shows that most of the Hindu kings often related themselves with the god. But Muslim rulers did not claim to be incarnation of God. Okay, but some Persian court chronicles described the Sultan as the shadow of God. This you can see the great construction work. These are the step well at Hampi. Hampi was the capital of the Vijayanagar Empire. The mosques, they were built. You can see the arcade style. The forts, they were built to protect the king and its people from the invaders. These are Agra fort built by Akbar. The Agra fort is one of the big fort in India. Okay, so lot of laborers in thousands were involved when these huge places were constructed.